Hi everyone and welcome to another install on the Civic Coupe. Now you probably remember from the last video, I'll link it below, I fit a intake on this particular car. It cost me a total of £27, that's $35 US, and I fit that particular intake and it was so cheap because it was from AliExpress. And it was a very similar design to like the Tegua intakes and you know the whale penis intakes, called it a whale schlong on the last video. But yeah, I'll link that below, and that was from AliExpress and it cost me a total of £27 and that included shipping. I believe it's even gone down in price since I installed it. But anyway, before we find out what that intake sounds like, 'cause I'm sat in the car as we speak obviously, and I did say that I'd give you guys a little sound test of it in the next video. I'm going to be fitting something else. Now, I'm going to be seeing if this will fit. So this is a Honda Civic EP2 sport steering wheel, very similar to the EP3 steering wheel in that it is the exact same shape. The only difference is the red H badge is missing in the centre, and I actually chose the EP2 steering wheel on purpose for that because they never made a Type R of the Coupe, so I didn't want to make it look like something that it isn't and stick Type R badges all over something that was never a Type R to begin with and never will be a Type R. So that's the plan for today. I'm going to disconnect the battery first of all, whip this steering wheel off. I'm going to give you a quick before and after as well, because that was something that I missed. I missed a bit of a trick on the intake install. But you can check it out on my Instagram. I did a picture both before and after of the intake being fitted, and Jesus Christ, the amount of weight that old intake would have added to the front end of this car, ridiculous. But so yeah, check out my Instagram and you'll be able to see a before and after picture of the intake manifold as well. It looks so much cleaner in my opinion. But yeah, I'll just show you this now. Standard Civic wheel. So here is the standard Civic wheel. Now you can see it's absolutely youge. It's like driving a bus. I said that on the review video that I did, and yeah, it's skinny as well, so it doesn't feel very good. Whereas this one, sort of a little mock-up there, you can see how much thicker it is. It's not pulling focus very well, but you get the idea. It's a hell of a lot thicker, just on the steering wheel itself. So it feels a hell of a lot better in your hand. So yeah, I'm gonna crack on with whipping the battery off and getting this off. So I've just whipped off the battery. I'm going to use this trim tool now, try and get into the plastic trims behind the wheel. 1, 2. So just show you that now. So as you can see, just here, I've whipped this particular trim off, and just here, that particular trim there. Ooh, there we go, there. I believe there's one more just underneath there. Basically all you do, just get it in that little lug hole, pry it out like that. This is so weird because I'm trying to work backwards. But yeah, you can see there the switch for the airbag. Now I'm going to leave that alone, but I've only just disconnected the battery. I don't want to be touching that just yet. Now what I've just done is I've loosened those screws that you can see just there that require a Torx bit, and there's one on the other side just there. I've loosened those, and I'm going to go and get the airbag off. So I have left the airbag now 5 minutes, so I can remove it. I'm just going to completely take out those screws I showed you earlier, and then I'm going to get the clip underneath. Was the most annoying thing, trying to loop it and then disconnect it. It's hard to explain, but it was like a really short wire, and I realised it was because it was like trapped in like a little bracket. I'll show you what I mean after I've just taken this horn wire off. Oh, there we go. Uno airbag without it exploding. Now these are actually really funny to put under your parts manager's seat. You know, the like little 5-star office chairs that you can get, and you can just, you know, wire it up to like a car battery, slide it under your parts manager's seat, and then link it to the car battery, you know, at a safe distance away. Not for your parts manager, but for yourself. And shoot them through the fake roof, the foam tiles on the roof. It's always really fun. I don't actually recommend doing that, but it might have happened once. So, I'll show you what's going on. So as you may be able to see, I have here a central nut, which is what I'm going to waggle the steering wheel off on. I will undo it, if I can, with the crap tools that I have. But this is like the little bracket that this was like snugly fit behind. So I couldn't unplug it from this side, which is what I hoped I could do if I was to have removed the airbag first. And then just, you know, flip it round, unplug it. No, didn't happen. So I had to put it back on after I'd sort of pushed it out of this little plug, which is what I think you're supposed to do first. You're supposed to access it from behind after taking out this plastic section. So I pushed it out, unplugged it from that side while it was situated in the steering wheel. So that's a quick little tip for you if you're doing this on this particular steering wheel. I know it was fitted on various Honda models. That's a quick tip for you to just make it a little bit easier, a little bit quicker for yourself. And then there was this little plug on here. Let's see if I can get it on the airbag itself, which was that one there in the centre of the screen, not in focus, not in camera, but you get the idea. That one pulled off from there and there, and now I'm going to have a go at this nut. Do I have the biceps to use something 3/8? It's a 19, so I'm going to have a go with 3/8. Oh. Oh. There we go. So what I did there was, as I used my little chicken arms to get onto that nut in the centre, I just took it off a little bit, because obviously I'm going to manipulate this steering wheel. You could see me bending the steering wheel slightly, just trying to pull it, but I don't want this nut completely off because I don't want to smash myself in the face with the steering wheel. So that's nice and loose now. I can now finger blast this nut, whip that off, steering wheel off. Oh, there's an extra plug. Jubbly. Now what you want to make sure is that you don't move this ring here, because that will normally knock your indicators off as you rotate the steering wheel. Now there are some little indicators as to whether or not your steering wheel's square, and there's like a little cutout. I'll show you that now. So the extra little plug I took off was this one, because it sort of met the steering wheel on this little L bracket. So that basically linked the horn from the airbag through the steering wheel to this little plug here, so that this could easily rotate and keep a circuit. But as you can see inside, you can just about see it now, there's like a cutout at this side and a cutout at that side, little notches if you like, so that indicates left and right hand side of the steering wheel, so that I can then position this accurately, or accurate enough, so that the automatic cancellation of my wipers, that side, work as that rotates and knocks it off. That's the idea anyway. So I'm going to now see what this needs for this to work. And I need to find that little screw. Oh, there it is. I need to find that, because my new steering wheel didn't come with these, and these just hold the airbag on. They are pretty much universal. So the good news here is that the airbag plug and the horn pin here, like this little slot here for the male end, if you like, of the plug for the horn, is going to fit these two female sockets perfectly. So we've got the male plug there for the airbag, and the male little bracket, if you like, there for the horn, and then this whole centerpiece is a horn, unlike the EM1 steering wheel, the Civic Coupe wheel, which had two little horns either side like that, versus one big horn. There you go, which is lovely, but I don't need that bit yet. I need this bit, position that accurately, and it's if this works and if the spline fits. Now I've seen pictures that would show that it does fit. Let's see if they're right. Oh, it seems to fit on the spline lovely, and I can tell already that the size of it is just so much better. I can't wait to try it. Where's my nut gone? I've actually lost my nut. Oh, it's there. You always want to finger blast your nuts first before you screw them. That way you don't cross your threads on your nuts, and try not to use your steering lock when you're, prying, using quite a bit of leverage. I wouldn't say prying, using quite a bit of leverage on the centre nut. You don't want to be using it against the steering lock, because if you were to break your steering lock, all your switches and everything just want to rotate with your steering wheel. I can honestly say that's not going to move. Now, airbag on. I'm so happy that this is just a complete plug and play. It's amazing. I hope this is straight. Just going to put these screws that I'm upcycling from the old steering wheel into the airbag. Hold that in place. Why didn't I do this earlier? It's so easy. Make sure the airbag's nice and flush. Now I don't want to completely nip it up yet, because I want to make sure it's nice and equal in its positioning in the steering wheel. I want it to be nice and central. Don't want it to be too high, too low, or high on one side, low on the other side, because there is a little bit of play. There we go. I don't know if the horn's working. Oh, the battery's disconnected. What a fucking tool. I'm sure the horn works when the ignition's off. Danny, you've just fucking unplugged your airbag so you don't blow your fucking face into the fucking rear seat. Right. Oh, that fucking feels so good. Right, I'm just gonna let the steering lock off, because I just want to see if my wheel's actually central before I start reconnecting the battery and stuff like that, because I don't want to wait another 5 minutes to then disconnect it and just have to fuck about again. So, oh my god, that is going to be so much better. How good does that look? That looks so nice. You probably can't tell because it's like side on and it's a bit out of proportion, but it feels so much smaller, it looks so much better. It just feels so much better. I know it's only a stock EP3 wheel, but you have no idea how fucking shit that massive bus steering wheel was. It was horrible, and I apologise for my potty mouth in this video, but it's how passionately I feel about this particular item. Now, this only cost me £30 on eBay, this particular steering wheel, so it's used, obviously. It's not in the best of nick, but £30 for something that is going to feel so much better when you're driving a car. Like, you have no idea how much better it is when you've got a nice tight feeling steering wheel in a car. It makes you feel so much more confident about the car and makes the car feel more agile almost. I sort of learnt all that like when I swapped the Momo steering wheel onto the Honda Civic EG, and honestly it's just night and day when you do things like a short shifter, a smaller steering wheel and a nice, hug me tight seat. Those sort of mods, along with like low profile stickier tyres, just transform your car as far as the experience of driving it, which is what we as car enthusiasts obviously like and enjoy, which is why self-driven cars, in my opinion, should never take off. Sorry, Elon. Like the stuff, like the cars, like the fact that you've installed like a drift mode on the Model 3, but it shouldn't drive itself. That's just wrong. Right, I'm gonna go check the wheels. So now I'm just going to put these little like plastic covers on the back of the steering wheel. I'm not going to show you me putting plastic covers on, I'm showing you how to take them off. The ones on the new steering wheel are very, very similar. They've got little notches for where you can put your trim tool. So I'm just going to pop these on, attach the battery, and then we're probably going to go for a drive and see how that intake sounds. As you can tell, the intake sounds a lot more bassy. That steering wheel feels so good. And the intake, believe it or not, gives the car so much more throttle response. I don't know if it's because the air is taking a shorter path, or if it's just less restrictive and therefore the airflow is just easier for the intake. But as far as like heel and toe is concerned, it's so much better. It's definitely nice and throaty. At full throttle, fully open throttle, it actually reminds me of ITBs. With how like throaty it is. That's full throttle. The steering wheel is so good. I think it's slightly off centre, but it might just be the road. Yeah, the throttle response is definitely improved on this air intake, and I would go as far to say that it seems to be a lot more perkier at the lower revs. So I'm going to pull onto the motorway now. Give it some beans. Yeah, that sounds so much better. That sounds awesome. That's well good. That's the first time I've actually given it full throttle with this air intake on, and it's been so hard to try and resist it. Definitely worth it. I'm gonna come off here. Down this road here. That sounds so good. Sounds awesome. So I'm going to cut the video here. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, then please subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out. Fucking language have I got it in? What the fuck is that language? It's like in fucking Russian or some shit. Thank fuck for that.